Hey everybody. All right, let's just get to it. The talk shows, the pundits, the mainstream media is all lying to you. And I don't do rants, but I want to help some of you who are private messaging me to help some of our friends from unfriending you and walking back off the ledge, because you're going to notice that they're all being pushed emotionally, not intellectually. They can't engage in an intellectual policy discussion. So it's all about emotions. Okay. So this is because the people who do these TV programs, all right, are programming them, right? Just like you program a computer. So their emotional buttons are being pushed. Racist, misogynist, but nothing is backed up factually, only snippets. So there's an agenda involved, and the agenda involved is that there's a concerted effort to turn around and move the United States of America economically to a centralized controlled economy farther to the left. President Trump was elected fair and square. Now, what people don't understand, that President Trump was elected as a populist. What that means, a lot of you don't know what that means. What that means is that the demographics that voted for President Trump crossed all kinds of demographics and party lines that were traditionally in the Democrat camp. So the Democrats thought they had the women vote, and because Hillary was a woman, that they would get females to vote for her because she's a female. So they thought they had the gender. They thought that they had in their camp, all the ethnic votes, because they control their livelihoods and their economies, right? They don't provide jobs, so they keep everyone on welfare, and so therefore their livelihoods dependent on the government. So they thought they had the dependency vote. They thought they had the liberal vote. Well, guess what? People realize that the country doesn't need to move to that far left. So the demographics moved into the voting bloc that elected President Trump. That's how he was elected. That's why we see now a concerted effort by the government and by the left to change the demographics, right? So they're trying to make subdivisions, subdivide us by sexuality, by gender, by religion, etc., right? And so to keep us all fighting with each other. See, and if we're fighting each other, we're not paying attention, keep an eye on the ball. So my friends, walk back from the ledge. Don't let the emotionalism overtake your logic and your critical thinking. If you want to get in a discussion with somebody, right, let's discuss policy. You'll notice on all of the talking heads, all of the talking programs, not one discussion on policy. You notice that? Because they can't discuss policy. They can't discuss in the soaring economy. They can't discuss or talk down the logic and the effort of trying to make peace between North and South Korea. That's a good thing. They can't turn around and communicate to you that the policy towards Iran, which has to do with the lifeblood economy, worldwide global economy coming through the Gulf, and also the kind of flavor of Muslims that they are in that theocracy, that they actually believe that if they put on a bomb belt and blow themselves up, they go to heaven. This is their history, right? During the Iraq War and everything else. This is that flavor of Muslims that there are in Iran, in that theocracy. You understand? So the kind of people who are being brainwashed to think that if they put on a bomb belt and going to go to heaven if they blow themselves and others up, these are not the kind of people, I don't think, that should be in possession of nuclear weapons, especially when they're saying that their foreign policy is to blow other countries off the map. See what I'm saying? So they can't discuss that, right? So it's worthwhile to say that we don't want to be in that kind of deal, that they're going to get nuclear weapons. See? So no one can turn around and get into that. So they do the dog whistle thing of, all these things, racism, misogyny, and everything like that. But when you break it down to the facts, you can't argue it, right? Oh, Trump hates women. How's that? More than 600,000 women received jobs and higher paying jobs under this administration these past 2 years. He's a racist. How is he a racist? Racism means that you apply one characteristic to an entire race of people. So all blank ethnics are this. That's racist. Apply that to that. Racism is when it's institutionalized. Okay? Like Jim Crow laws that were applied by the Democrats, right? So that is racist and that is racism. Okay? The president didn't do that. So you see, they're trying to push your emotional buttons because these programs are designed by social scientists, and psychologists who are expert in this. These are the same guys who sell you toothpaste and make you think you're going to have sex appeal, right? Okay. So, my friends, talk your other friends back off the ledge. There's no reason to unfriend each other. There's no reason for reasonable people to disagree on policy. Now, style over substance. President Trump is a born, bred, and raised New Yorker. So he has that New Yorker attitude. He's a multi-billionaire New Yorker. So he has that New Yorker attitude combined with the arrogance of a billionaire. So, and that in-your-face style. The Washington elites and the elite media don't know how to deal with this guy. This is a guy that had to deal with trucking unions, Teamster unions, the underworld, and all the Democrats in New York to try and get a permit, right? So he's well trained for the job that he's in now as a negotiator. Okay, so that's the kind of style that we need right now. So the thing is that when we look at a soaring economy, when we look at more of the ethnic groups, doing well for themselves, when we look at investors pulling back a handsome return on their investments, when we look at a foreign policy that's pushing back on those who control the gates or the gateways of the global economies to make sure that we have a free flow of commerce in those areas, these are the things that the president is supposed to do. So let the guy do his job. So the thing is now, when we talk about now the basic thing they're trying to push is this immigration thing. It's not immigration. It is an invasion. It's open borders. Okay? Forget these four women who are crying back and forth and stealing up all the media time. What are they offering? They're offering redistribution of wealth, right? A redistribution of wealth. You know whose wealth they're talking about? Yours. What people like us and the people like you is that don't you want to keep more of your money? So we just want the government to leave us the hell alone, let us keep more of our earnings, and stay off our back. And that's why this president is a populist and becoming popular with voters who feel the same way, because he's in alignment with that. And he has the backbone and the spine and the thick skin to put up with it. The guy's under constant, unrelentless attack. They were calling for his impeachment and burning down Washington, D.C. and burning up cars 2 minutes after the guy was inaugurated in Washington. It's ridiculous. You have name calling of unprecedented sophomoric levels, in the well of the Senate, in the Congress, and all over the media. Come on, this is just ridiculous. And the thing is that it's all misleading. They're lying to you. So when you want to talk to your friends about this kind of thing and maintain friends, talk policy. You have to understand policy. So you have to say, okay, why do you want open borders? Tell me why opening up the borders is good for the United States of America and good for the U.S. economy and good for the U.S. Working man. Tell me, explain that. I'll open up the borders, that you don't need a passport or a visa to get into the United States. Explain that to me, okay? Explain how lining up with human traffickers who are sexually abusing, raping women and children, boys and girls, coming through that desert. What do you think? How do you think they're paying the freight? Okay? You think that these people are not being abused? Ask someone. That's what's going on. It's human trafficking. Okay? It's drug trafficking. It's arms trafficking. Also, what do you think? Opening up the borders and letting terrorists come in to do harm to the United States is a good idea? It's a national security issue. So you see, if you can get someone to argue that opening up the borders is a good thing, do that. If you can get someone to say, okay, why you don't no longer need a passport or a visa to get into the United States, explain that. Challenge them to explain that to me. If they can't explain it, then the president is right. So, just tone it down a notch. Tone it down a notch. So, I just want to kind of connect the dots for you and enjoy the beautiful days and beautiful summers. This is great. And President Trump will be elected in a Latino landslide in 2020.